Hi everyone, and welcome back to Anxiety Go Go. I just wanted to take this minute that I have in the car. It's really not a good angle of me, but anyway, we're not here for my good angles. I wanted to talk about a bit more about relationships and to elaborate on the way we see ourselves in a relationship and the way that we assume others see us in our relationships as well, because I think a lot of us tend to overthink our position in a relationship or overthink what the other person must be thinking about us. So I think this is a pretty good topic that will relate to a lot of people, and particularly those like myself that overthink a lot about everything. And just touch base to remind you all how to bring yourself back and be present in the day that you're in at the time, instead of trying to work out the future or try and work out what's going to happen or what the outcome's going to be of that relationship. I was talking to a really dear friend of mine the other day, and she just needed a little bit of guidance because she's in a new relationship at the moment. And I'm no relationship counsellor, but I have studied the DBT, so it also helps us to work on our emotions and that inside relationship, so interpersonal skills. But also, I think from the experience that I've had as a mother and been married for 14 years and things like that, I think all these different life experiences can help as well, especially with friends that have new relationships. In this case, this girl was trying to make decisions on what would be the best thing for her to do over the next few weeks, the new parts of her relationship, and quite worried that she would make a wrong move or not make the move that would sustain their relationship together. And I think this is a lot of what we all try to do. We try to maintain our relationships by controlling or trying to control what will happen in our future together. So I'd like everyone to sort of think about that as something that's not sustainable or effective in any type of relationship. So whether it's friendship, colleagues, or even your personal relationships, marriages and whatnot, because we have no control over, which we all know. It's just that sometimes we need to be reminded about these things, and we need to remind ourselves that we don't have control over our futures. All we can do is manage our own ways and understand that it doesn't matter who we are or what we do. If that person doesn't accept us or it doesn't seem to work out the way that we want it to, we aren't obliged to do anything in particular to prevent that from happening. We don't have to do anything in a relationship to make that other person feel, or try to make that other person feel different from what they do about you. Only thing you're obliged to do is be yourself. Be yourself all the time, and you will always be true to yourself, and therefore the honesty will be there from day one with your partners, and you won't struggle as much because from day one, that person is aware of who you are, what their expectations of you are, because you've always been upfront and your own true self. If at the very beginning of relationships we are afraid to show who we really are, we tend to find that later in the relationship we can't sustain that anymore, and our little idiosyncrasies or our little bits and pieces start to come out and show themselves, which sometimes can be detrimental to a relationship. And we know this, we are aware of this, and that's why we often find ourselves trying to prevent that from happening. But the best way to prevent something like that from happening is starting it from the start, doing it from the start, making people aware of who you are from the start. So there's no little sneaky frights or surprises later in the relationships. And it's only human that we we want the best outcome. And of course we have to be aware of who we are as a person. We have to consider other people. But that doesn't mean that we change who we are as a person. We don't change who we do, what our values are, in the hope that that won't ruin our relationships and change the future of it. So just to recap over that again, adapting is okay. Adapting to new environments, new personalities, new living standards, new everything, even when you come together as two different personalities. Adapting is okay. But what I'm trying to say is full change of who you are, or trying to hide traits of your personality from that other person won't sustain any relationship, and you won't be able to continue doing that throughout the relationship either. So yeah, trying to be upfront, be true to who you are, love who you are. Don't be afraid to show your different personality traits. If you're emotional, you're an emotional type. There is always someone out there that will be able to help you, or not even so much help you, but be by your side if you're an emotional person. The person that says, oh, too much high maintenance, over emotional, that's the type of person that's not right for you. And when it comes to things like, I'm too sporty, or I spend too much time as a gamer, or okay, there's lots of different things that we have as our characteristics that make up our personalities. We have to find someone that suits our personality so that we can be 100% true to ourselves. And that's how we sustain a healthy, long relationship. Honesty and respect for each other. So I hope that helps a little bit, just in maybe small aspect of any relationship troubles you might have at the moment. And I'll recap and do a part 2 when I have a little bit more time, and see how we go then. Okay, over and out for now. Thank you. Bye.